Welcome to the Author Blurb podcast. Here, we're here to connect readers and authors so that the readers, you, can find that book or that author you're going to love. So I appreciate you being here. Get ready, enjoy the show, enjoy knowing the authors, and remember, subscribe, tell people about the show, and go buy the author's books, because if you like listening to them and you think they're interesting, they're going to love hearing from you. Welcome to the Author Blurb podcast. I'm Eric Maynard, E.A. Maynard, and today I'm speaking about Archie Roy's book, King Solomon's Empire. Now, this book here is, to me, interesting because I do enjoy a good history. And as if you've listened to the conversation that Archie and I have had, I do enjoy learning about Solomon. I've read a lot of the different things about him. I've watched and did what I could just out of passing interest. So this is not a get you excited, get you going. This is a true history, a understanding and facts about Solomon, doing comparison about what you would find today versus back then, the things that King Solomon did, and does kind of an analysis of what Solomon was attempting, things like that. I found it very interesting. I've enjoyed listening to, or not listening, sorry. I enjoyed reading King Solomon's Empire by Archie. It entertained me. It is a educational history, really diving in to find out about King Solomon. Don't read this thinking you're going to be getting any insights about King Solomon's mind or about the Queen of Sheba and their relationship. This focuses strictly on historical facts, documents, and things that he had to reference and to go through and pull up information about King Solomon. So take it more as a nonfiction book. It's not a dry book, but he does have his footnotes, his references. It could be used as a educational form of reference as well, something that you could use to be able to use as a reference. I don't know how else to say it. I guess I said reference a few times. It's a good book. I enjoyed it. And so far, I know it sounds like I'm giving all these books I read good reviews, but, when I went through this book, I found a lot of information that I never knew about King Solomon. And religious or not, mind you, there is a religious content to this. But if you're religious or not, and you do enjoy history and you want to try to learn more about King Solomon, he was an interesting figure. I found it interesting to me that what really brought him down was himself. His was not anything really more than he was not able to control his desires. He believed too much in doing what made him happy, in the sense of the women that he had in his life. He had just an unbelievable amount of concubines and wives and all this stuff that he's tried to appease the women. And as a guy, I've always heard women will always be the death of a man. To this, the downfall of Solomon was women, in the sense that he was obsessed with having them being the king, I guess you could say. And I found it interesting that it said that Solomon was not able to perform in his later years, which happens, but a man that was so focused on having wives and concubines and doing the marital stuff, having all sorts of interrelationships with him, that occurred to him towards the end of his life. Now, I suggest this book on multiple reasons, religious or not, is that the history, it goes back further than medieval, it goes further back than what most people that I've known looks into. Now, what I will say is it's entertaining to me. It should be entertaining to you too if you enjoy learning about history and about what happened in the history of the Middle East, Egypt, things like that Solomon was facing, and all these things that he had to fight, how he got to power, what he had to do to keep power, the signs and things that we find that we base his knowledge off of. So there's an immense amount of information in this book. I enjoyed talking with Archie in our interview and listening to him explain in our conversation about Solomon got me interested more in reading his book. So I encourage you to go back, listen to us talk if you're not sure from my perspective. Archie was fun. He was enjoyable to talk to, very smart fella, and somebody that I think put a lot of knowledge, effort, and a lot of time into creating this book. It's in multiple parts, so it starts off in different areas, different ways of looking at it, and you build off of that to be able to get a feeling of who King Solomon was. By the end of it, I actually have a greater understanding and a feel that I can connect a little better with the King Solomon of reality versus the King Solomon of myth. And that, I think, is a huge thing in knowing about history, is being able to connect with them. Now, we each have our own urges to find out about history in different areas. If you're anti about anything in the Bible, don't worry about this. If you're anti stuff before or after, whatever it is, this book is for people who, I would say, either want to understand better about a figure out of the Bible, because King Solomon has had a strong hand in the books in the Bible. If you want to learn more about history before medieval times and things like that, and more about the Egyptians, the Middle Eastern kingdom, the African kingdom, things like that, then King Solomon, The Empire of King Solomon by Archie Roy, a beautiful thing to get. If it's somebody that you know that's in it, I would highly suggest this as a gift for them. And yeah, right there's really all I have to offer about the book. Now, all these opinions are mine and mine alone. If you disagree with me, let me know why. I'd love to hear why. I would love feedback. Either message me, send me a voice message, a written message, whatever you want. They're both available to do on authorblurb.com. Feel free to view the profiles for Archie, other authors that I have on the website, where you can filter by either fiction, nonfiction, genres. You can search by just the author's name. I've tried to make this as easy for you to find authors that you can, find their books, enjoy them, be a part of this community that I'm building, because the readers I have on, I find are great people, great writers, and they deserve, at least the ones I've read so far, their writings deserve to be discovered and get out there more. So, as always, I appreciate you being with me through this adventure I'm doing, through this experiment, I guess, of trying to find the best way I can to connect readers and authors together. As an author myself, I know how important it is to be able to reach out to the readers and build a connection with them. So with that being said, feel free, reach out to the authors. Let me know what you think about my reviews. Let me know if you disagree. Whatever it is, I'm happy to hear from you, and I'm sure they are as well. So with that, check out the interviews. Check out the things that I've done with other reviews, other authors' interviews, and check out the YouTube channel, the audio version of this. Whatever you prefer, I put it out there for you. So, as always, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I look forward to you coming back again and being part of this show one way or another. With that being said, you have a good day.